The Tesla stock seems to hit all-time high after all-time high. Now in today's vlog we will talk about the way to the $6,000 mark in a couple of years, and also we will compare the Tesla stock growth story to the biggest growth stories in the world. So without further ado, let's roll.
Wolf of Dubai.
So if you have a look into the Tesla stock, it's an unbelievable story. Now, a full roller coaster here. In the very beginning of 2019, we had the stock price of $338. Now, this went down to even up to $178 and then went up to even almost $500 per share, and this is an unbelievable story. Now this is not without no work. Tesla showed that they really pulled off what they believe, what they worked very hard on. The China Gigafactory is transport in just 10 months, below 1 year, from a piece of land to a full functioning car manufacturing facility. So let's have a look how Tesla stock is at current pricing. Is it really a cheap option for you, or is it still worth to go in? And how, as a growth story, it really compares to other growth stories and to the biggest growth stories on Wall Street. And therefore we will dive in now directly in the comparison of the growth companies. So let's talk about Tesla. Now Tesla, I will take the numbers that are expected for closing the year of 2019 because I will compare the year-over-year numbers, and Tesla will approximately make 24.5 billion US dollars revenue. Now EBITDA of $2.12 billion and a whooping growth of 50%, and this is huge. If you will see the other company, you will understand how big this is, especially for a company that's not spread some software or doing some kind of easy distributional product, but we are talking about a car manufacturer, an energy company, a solar company here with very high intensive capital requirements. So this number is maybe one of the key numbers here in the whole video. So keep on watching very close, and if you like it, make sure to thumb up this video as well. Now, a market cap of currently about $84 billion is one of the highest ever for Tesla. If you look into my first videos that I posted here on this channel a couple of months ago, I was with the very first video, I was teaching you about Tesla and how this company will grow over time, and it's just starting. And if we are looking into the price sales ratio, this is basically comparing the price to the revenue, to the sales of the company, so you can see, okay, how much is it worth versus how much revenue they do. And this is obviously here 3.43, the PS ratio, which is, you know, a little bit on the higher side, but you will see how it works with the other growth companies on the stock market. Now, a forward PE on Tesla, if we putting this is the earnings compared to the price. Currently we are at the whooping 106, and this is on the very high side if you compare this number, but sometimes this number can trick you because you see a high price which also incorporate the future of the company, and more important, the growth of the company. Now, you can see very small earnings because the company reinvest or need the company to build up, but they are growing hugely and making very less profit, like Amazon did for many years. They growed and growed. They had a PE ratio and for about 150 and so on and so forth. You know, growth companies are usually having a very high PE ratio, and a much better number to see how this price earnings ratio really work is the PE ratio. The PEG ratio takes the price earnings ratio and divide it by the growth of the company. Now, so you can see there where this is going. So let's say we have the 106 and we slash it by the amount of growth, 50%, then we are at the PEG ratio of about 2 for Tesla, which is really good. Still, it's considered to be a little bit on the higher side, but with more growth or stable growth and more earnings and with a more stable, obviously the Tesla stock seems to be a little bit overbought at the moment, but in the end we need to watch this PEG ratios throughout the other growth stories, and you will see that this is actually not that high as it seems. Now, the next growth story, which is the stock of the decade, okay? We are talking about the best performing stock in the last 10 years, and this is a product that you're using daily that I'm not on yet, so make sure to subscribe to this channel to make sure that maybe one day I can get my own Netflix series. The second stock is Netflix. Now, Netflix will approximately make this year $20.5 billion revenue. Now, this is a smaller revenue than Tesla, but they are making money. So EBITDA is about $12 billion and the growth is 30%. Now you can see the growth is much drastically less than Tesla has as a software giant. Obviously this number was a little bit higher in the previous years, but it's much less than Tesla has, and the market cap of Netflix is currently $146 billion, so almost double the market cap of Tesla. And I said it in the video day before yesterday that I believe maybe a fair valuation of this year 2020 could be $150 billion for Tesla. So let's go into the PS ratio of Netflix, and you can see compared to the expensive 3.43 of Tesla, this company has a PS ratio of 8.1 and a PEG ratio of 3.58, which is about 75% more expensive than Tesla, that is growing less, that making less revenue. And we will come in a couple of seconds to another scene where I will also compare the upcoming products and growth potential of all the three companies that I'm comparing now to Tesla. Now let's go to the very growth stock number one over the last 20 years, which is for sure, without any doubt, Amazon. Amazon was for years, I think there was like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years without profit, and then because they just was building the house, okay, they was building the machine, that is one of the biggest companies in the world. I think Jeff Bezos did the right thing by reinvesting, especially the e-commerce sector. He used the growth that was there in e-commerce of the internet and really started to build the biggest company in e-commerce ever done here on Earth. Now both are planning to go further than Earth, Elon Musk as well as Jeff Bezos, so let's see who wins this race, but this is another story. So Amazon is actually making a revenue of $278.4 billion US dollars. This is a huge number. I don't even know if I can ever imagine this number to be really true. I mean, how the money could look like if we pull all the money in one place. This would be very interesting, but maybe this is an idea for another vlog. So however, they're doing an EBITDA of $36 billion, which is great. Growth as well is only 30% compared to the 50% of Tesla, and the market cap is almost $1 trillion already with $935 billion. Now the PS ratio is about 3.6, very close to that of Tesla, so you can see that compared to Amazon stock that, you know, many people said this is overvalued, this will crash, and it went on forever and forever. And actually these numbers that you see here currently are one of the less expensive numbers that we have seen in Amazon history. So we have seen a PE ratio of 150, 120, no problem, guys. So you can see here the PE ratio is currently at some 84, which is quite fair, or in retrospect quite cheap, and a PEG ratio of 2.8. So you can see from all the companies, the most significant number in my perspective for a growth company, the PEG ratio, the price earnings ratio divided by the growth, is the lowest in Tesla. And so you can see there's still lots of valuation that can come on top of that, especially when Tesla also will make more money and will make really profitable quarters. Now let's talk about some potential here, because in the end, what is making the stock price is basically three things: how the company is doing, right? How the company is delivering, and what is the future of the company? I mean, in the end, there is also 1,000 other things like industry or products or management. All these things puts the stock price into its perspective. But if we are looking into the product portfolio and the growth potential, then we see Tesla with a really nice portfolio. And we can see also that with when Elon Musk said, hey, Tesla has one of the most exciting product portfolio upcoming, I think this is not overstated in my personal opinion, but let's dive into it. So we have the Gigafactory in China, which will produce, I think, at least 100,000 cars next year, which is 1/3 of the factory that is currently running, that will also get more efficient. Then we have the Model Y. So after Model 3 will be, let's say, a little bit saturated or found a kind of peak, there's already another model that will take over. And actually, Elon Musk and his team are considering that this model will have more sales than S, X, and 3 combined. So what does it mean? So this means that, last year, 3 type of cars produced most of the revenue for Tesla. And if Model Y will beat them all combined, then we have a really revenue bringer here in this portfolio, which is the Model Y. Now, other models are also coming. So we have the Cybertruck, we have the Roadster, we have the Semi, we have the ATV. So there is so many new cars coming that the product portfolio will be so great, but still specific, that the cars that maybe slow down, like the S and X, which will also get an update, which I think Tesla did the mistake that they didn't make it earlier, because the sales are slowing down, because the cars are pretty much the same over the last couple of months, and there's no big updates, but there's also now the big update with the plate. So actually I think this is a good opportunity to bring new customer, to revive the S and X model sales a little bit right now. And we are also having a new factory that will bring also 500,000 cars in maybe 2023, 2022. They will have maybe 300,000 cars, or 150 or 200,000 cars delivering, and they will start actually producing and delivering in 2021. So another big product that Tesla is working on and has a huge leap, because all the cars that are outside there, they are getting the data, and data is the new oil, as we know, especially in the autonomous race. Who will win and develop the best system for autonomous will be leading the mobility future, and Tesla is really great in that, and they are leading currently the race in autonomous. And this leads also to the ride-sharing business. The ride-sharing business, as we know, one of the biggest companies IPOs last year was Uber, and Also, Lyft was also quite interesting, but Uber with its big valuation and with big revenue that Tesla can, take a bit shares of with time. Ride sharing will be the future, that we don't own cars, but we just call them and they are coming by its own. They have very less parts. You have entertainment inside. So this is the future, and it will be much cheaper than owning a car over time. And then we also, not even finishing the autonomous part, we can also dive into solar roofs. Solar roofs are coming, and this is also the future, as we know, and they are also innovative and revolutionary products out there that Tesla is putting on your roof in the future. And obviously energy and battery storage of power will be a big topic in the upcoming years, because obviously all this electricity and gadgets and connectivity needs power that will be stored. It's just not future orientated if we are taking the electricity that we're generating through wind, through oil, through coal, whatever it is, and just pumping it into the, let's say, power requirement network, but not storing it. This is like you could not store your fuel. So you would put the fuel in your car and you had to drive with it and putting it in but if the car stays, then you still have to have the fuel pump there. So it's really, really outdated system out there, and batteries are the future to solve this problem. So comparing this impressive, I have to say, without being a Tesla overall fanboy, but I have to say that this portfolio looks really interesting. Now let's see the growth potential of Netflix. Obviously they are investing in original content, which is huge. They have the advertising part, which is the product placement. They don't want to put advertising on their series or on their content, but there's product placement where they get revenue on. This is one of the growth potentials there. They want to grow internationally. There's so many countries that are still not having internet, which Elon Musk with its other SpaceX company is solving, and then more people can get subscribers, and this growth is a potential for Netflix. Is there anything else? Let me know in the comments for sure, because I couldn't feel or read or found anything what can be the next big thing for Netflix, right? Except steady grow. And Amazon is quite interesting because their next big thing is advertising. I think beside Google and YouTube, Amazon is the third biggest search engine. We are looking for things, we are searching for things and going to Amazon, and they want to monetize that by putting advertising there, so you can advertise your product or website next to the Amazon search. So this will be quite interesting, because also if they build something, then this is on scale. Now the AWS, the Amazon Web Services, is basically the backbone of the internet, and this is obviously growing and growing and growing. They have the biggest clients on the internet. I heard there was one incident where a programmer put the wrong code line into the system and half of Google was not working. There was other Facebook sites not working. So you can see how big this is. They're actually the data centers of the internet. They revolutionized that you don't have to buy the data center, and therefore you can rent your particular data space that you need. If you need one day more, you can just add it. If you need one day less, very easy for the client. And then obviously Amazon is also expanding in the delivery. They have a huge fight with FedEx because the FedEx didn't brought the quality that they are seeking for, and also FedEx want to extend their business, especially the e-commerce business. It's very, very competitive business, and they want to keep everything from fulfillment center to ringing your bell, everything under Amazon control, and also all profits obviously and revenues that comes with it. And we see that also more and more people buying online, the generations getting younger and growing up already with e-commerce. So this can be just bigger and bigger and bigger. So these are the growth potentials of Amazon as well. And let's dive now to the projection. Finally, when Tesla will be a $6,000 stock. So, and this is a kind of assumptions. Obviously, there's no guarantee how the stock will develop. We have seen that it can go just double within 6 months, but I believe, in my personal opinion, that a 500 price tag in the whole year 2020 can be very realistic for Tesla, especially now on the 29th of January, when the revenue numbers and how much money will be shown to the public. This will be super interesting, and the stock can go up from there. And some people say, hey, they can see maybe an $800 stock price already in 2020, but I want to be quite fair and realistic with 500. I believe then in 2021 we can climb up to 750 with the Gigafactory in Germany starting. We have seen what happened with the China Gigafactory starting, so the China Gigafactory will be already in the process, and therefore I believe in 2022, when everything will be operational and maybe another Gigafactory already in the making, and I believe then 1250. So I believe that with time, about 50% on average, the stock can move up until we reach 6,000, just a couple of years. So 2023 we will be already approximately at 1,700. Now 2024 would be 2,500 per stock, so the fifth fold from the levels that we are now. And this is, you know, realistic because, you know, companies that are really revolutionizing and delivering, like for example Varta, it's a German company that are producing micro batteries for AirPods of the Apple headphones, and they are just tripled this year. So everything is possible, and I believe that there will be times that Tesla will grow maybe 10% per year, or not grow per year, or even lose per year. But on the other side, they maybe will triple or double one year or the other, with good news coming in, and obviously of the general market. So this is definitely no guarantee that this will go this way, but just an indication how it could go this way with all the considered that we spoke about in this vlog so far. So in 2025, this will be a super nice gift if the Tesla stock will hit 3,750. And finally 2026 will be the year that the Tesla stock can reach a market capitalization of $1 trillion with a stock price of $6,000. By then they will have ride sharing, they will have autonomous driving, they will have gigafactories around the world, they will sell millions of cars, and that's why the main reasons that this stock can be and must be on your watch list. So make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow, because I'm vlogging every single day.